right, first up this morning, Wisconsin has another exciting reason to watch The Voice. Betsy Ade from Kenosha has made it through the blind auditions, and she joins the first ever team legend. We are so happy to welcome Betsy to the yellow couch. She's been singing for a long time. Her current band is the Well-Known Strangers, so maybe you've seen her around the Kenosha area. So good to finally meet you. Thanks for being here today.
Oh,
my pleasure.
How excited are you?
I'm very excited. It doesn't stop. This has been a process that started last year in June.
With The Voice? Okay.
From the first audition that I had. So it just keeps getting more and more exciting.
Yeah.
Like they really know what they're doing with the whole element of surprise, and there's a reason why we can't tell everybody everything at once. They like to, you know, kind of.
When you say element of
dish it up.
surprise, are you saying for us, the viewer, or even for you as a contestant?
Well, I think that yes, there's a lot of stuff that we don't know. Like my next episode, I'm not sure as of now when it's going to be aired. So,
But you've already done it?
that's already recorded. That's
Okay,
been recorded.
and that'll be a battle round, right?
That'll be a battle round.
And you can't
where
tell
sing
us
the
many
same
details
song.
about that?
She can't tell us anything.
What song you say?
No, they
or
say if
anything
it
like that.
hasn't happened on TV, it hasn't happened.
It hasn't
In
happened.
real life.
So that's
Okay.
I'm trying to follow the rules.
Mom's the word. You can tell us after the, right? No. Tell us after we're done with the segment. No, but okay, so that's the process. And where are you now exactly? You went with Team John Legend.
Yes,
Why did you
Team
choose?
Legend.
Why did you choose him?
Well, there's two very big reasons that I chose Legend. The first one was my son is a huge fan, and I knew if I chose him as a coach, my son was out there with my family.
Your son is
And-
here today? Is
Yeah,
that him?
there
Oh,
he
you're on
is.
camera. Wave. We got a shot of you. There
You're a
you
big
are.
John Legend fan, huh?
And my girlfriend right there, Chantel. They were all out there with my parents and then two of my other friends. So they were there, and if I chose Legend, I had this feeling that he would just come and meet him, and to have my son meet a celebrity like that is like once in a lifetime, something that he'll remember forever. So that was running through my head, and then the other fact of he was the first person to turn.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
So that to you meant something, that he was the
Oh,
first
yeah.
person to hear you, believe in you.
yep, and
There we
he
go.
didn't- I mean, he changed my life within a matter of a second. And
Aw.
you know, you're never really sure if anybody else would have turned around.
So wait, here comes Adam, and you just kind of went away.
So in the back of your mind,
it
you're
was a
thinking
total accident.
maybe Adam wouldn't have turned had John not turned. Is that kind of the thought that you had?
Kind of, you know, that's a competition. So,
Yeah.
you know, and Legend has an EGOT, and he's, you know, people are like, oh,
Yeah.
even the coaches with him. So when he notices something, people probably want to get right into it and try to compete with him.
Yeah.
So those are the two big reasons why I chose John.
How
But any
nerve-wracking
coach
is
would be
this whole
awesome.
thing?
What's that?
How nerve-wracking is this
Yeah.
whole thing?
It's one of the most difficult things that I've ever done. I get nervous singing for kindergartners.
Really?
So
Well,
doing
you
something
were a
like this.
substitute teacher by day.
Yes, I still am. I
Still are.
Look at these
which is
pictures. I mean, you
another-
look like you're not nervous. You look like you got it going on.
Yeah, that was a moment where I was like, you better do something
Own
right
it.
here. Like you
It's
better
now
go.
or never.
Yep, and that was it. I just put it all out there.
Well,
so.
and you sang a song by Florence and the Machine, and in that moment when they were critiquing you, they said, you know, they could hear Florence in your voice.
Yep.
So who do you often get compared to? Is that why you chose that song? Because you think you have a similar resonance with her voice?
I think initially, yes. I haven't heard the song. When they send you a list of songs to choose from, and then
you
they
didn't pick
choose.
it.
They choose from a list that you give to them. So,
I see.
And they picked that one, which I hadn't listened to it before I got their list. I've always been a fan of Florence. She's this great, unique style about her. The lyrics resonated with me completely. It's kind of a coming of age. It's like, you know, trying to be a part of you know, a place where you're a musician, but it's like an entertainment thing where youth and beauty are still very much celebrated, and mostly, you know, you get most of your success when you're younger, and so I really felt a connection with the song.
Yeah.
And they did say, and they give you a vocal coach when you're out there. And the vocal coach that I had, Treylani, just amazing person.
So this is behind the scenes, right? Because
Yeah.
that's not somebody that we see.
No, you don't see her. Her, and then there's a few others that help the other team members. But she gave me a homework assignment to just read through the lyrics to try to make it your own, and I have such a thick Wisconsin accent. So I'm like, at 17, I started to start myself. I'm like, oh, this is not working. I'm just gonna
In between eating a cheese curd, right? True Wisconsin in that respect.
Right.
Well, here's something now we've heard. So we've got some musicians on staff that have seen you play before. They've been in the same area as you're watching. Paul Belcher, he's been there, and one of the things we've heard is that you've often performed without your shoes.
Yes,
is that
I always
something
perform
you
without my
always?
shoes.
So on the show, is that something that we're going to see? Is that something that like you're going to stay true to form in that, or will you go? You know, this is a show. I got to wear my shoes on stage.
Yeah, well, I'll never stop asking if I could take my shoes off.
Is the answer no? Have you asked already?
I've asked already.
Why do you perform without your shoes?
I think
It's one thing to wear flats, but to go like bareless.
I get it. I get it. I
Yeah.
like being barefoot.
Well, I've performed, in my living room, and since I was younger, I've just kind of sang, and I feel connected to the stage. It's still kind of like the raw part of me, the messy part of me, I guess that I want to keep close to me and keep showing people that I'm still me. I have to make sure that I keep up with my toenails now that there might be a little more people in the audience.
Right, make sure you stay close above the tootsies.
Yeah.
Well-known strangers. That's your band, a successful band in Kenosha, like we were talking about. What are your dreams? You're hoping the show catapults you to where? What do you want for yourself?
Oh, I don't know. I think the sky's the limit. I think that I'm gonna do this for as long as I possibly can. I'm a songwriter, and I'll never stop writing songs. I'm fortunate enough to have an amazing group of bandmates that are workhorses. They will do whatever they possibly can to make this organization a success, and willing to drop a lot of stuff and make a lot of sacrifices. We already have the last 3 or 4 years. We've done a lot. We crunched a lot in a short amount of time, and I think this is just going to only help us get to a place where we've been working for a really long time. So.
Well, I think that's interesting because you go on a show like this and you're a solo act,
Yes.
and so you've been performing as a band with people, and I read the name Well-Known Strangers came from the fact that many of you were well known, but
Yes.
kind of strangers to playing together, and that's how
Right.
you came together.
Yeah.
And so as you become, famous in your own right on this show, will you stay true to the band, or is that what your hope is, to stay connected with these
Absolutely.
musicians?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that I've had some failures and successes with other group members, and I think that when you get a formula that works, personalities that work, and you really have to hold them close to your heart and keep them. You need a village. You can't do this by yourself.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid at this point in the game to kind of do a solo thing. It's intimidating. I don't know if that's in my future or not. I don't know, but for where it stands right now, we're preparing to do as many things as possible. We're trying to capitalize, because this is kind of, you're a little bit of a flash in the pan, and
Yeah.
shows like this are all over the place. So we're gonna try our best to use it to our advantage as much as possible.
I like the humility that I hear in your voice. I
Yeah.
think it speaks volumes to your roots here in Wisconsin, and I think we're all here cheering for you.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks.
welcome.
Thanks for having me.
And I love your family back there.
Hey!
All right, so people can watch you on Mondays on The Voice from 7 to 9. Battle rounds, not sure when it's going to air, but that'll be your next stint on the show, so people can watch for that. Can you say who you'll be battling against, or not yet?
I'm gonna go with no. I cannot say that, but
Remember, she
there is
said.
We're going to hold
If it
it
hasn't
down.
aired yet,
We're
it
gonna
hasn't
get it out of her.
there's a clue. There was like a little bit of a teaser that I think they showed a picture of me and my battle partner when they were promoting battles last week.
Ooh.
So if you you sift through
Get out the DVR.
yeah, look
Rewind.
you'll see it. There's a picture there.
All right, cheer on. Betsy Ade, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. You got to keep coming back.
I will.
All right.
Of course.